Okay, I thought I'd do this little video outside because why not? I don't have any of the books with me, but I'm having a fun time with my new hair. Welcome to my February wrap up. I have no way of doing a video outside with my glasses on without them turning into sunglasses. February was an okay reading month despite the fact that I've taken a month off from making videos due to mental health reasons. February just seems to not be a great month for my mental health. February, yeah, just I don't know why. I think it might be that in between where it's still winter but you want it to be spring. I don't know. But I managed to read more pages in the month of February than I did in the month of January, but I read 5 books instead of 6, so take that which you will. I don't have any of the books with me because they're all inside and I've decided to do this outside. Fun. But let me take you through the books that I read in the month of February real quick. First book I read was Red Rising by Pierce Brown. I really enjoyed this book. I have heard of this series for a while on BookTube. It's just one of those things that goes around, but it never really piqued my interest until last month when some people were talking about it and I went, hey, let me check that out. It's available at the library, so let me check it out. Heh, library puns, so witty. I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. I really enjoyed it. I would have picked up Golden Sun right away, except I went to the back of the book to see how many pages there were, and I kind of spoiled myself for something. So I'm trying to like scrub my brain of that, because that can really hinder your reading experience when you spoil yourself. The next 4 books that I read are of the same series. I read the first 4 books of the Mortal Instruments series. Why did I do this when I said in the past that I clearly probably will never read Cassandra Clare? I watched the movie from back in 2013 on Netflix and the first season of Shadowhunters, and it kind of piqued my interest a little bit, so there's that. So I checked more books out from the library. I checked all 6 Mortal Instrument books, all 3 Infernal Device books, and I said I'm gonna binge read them. I'm not gonna tell anyone what I'm reading. It's gonna be super mysterious. Nobody cared. But I read Throne of Glass. Whew, not reading those books. I read at least these first 3 books back in 2013 before the movie came out. I'm pretty sure I might have read the 4th book too. I cannot rightly remember, though the 4th book felt oddly familiar. That's a bus. I read City of Bones, which I gave a 3.5 out of 5 stars. I really enjoyed it. It is a reread, and I didn't foresee myself giving these books a higher rating just because they are of the YA caliber. It's another bus. It's easy to read YA. I knew it was going to be easy to read. It's a hard feeling to describe, but a lot of these times I give a 3 out of 5 stars. It's not a bad reading, but it's not phenomenal. It didn't blow my mind, but I really did enjoy it. I thought Jace's humor was really odd, but I liked it, but it seemed a little bit out of place. He's a lot funnier in the books than I've seen him on screen. And of course, some of the twists that happen in that book I already knew about, and I knew some of them weren't true, so it didn't really blow my mind like it did the first time. The first time I read that, I was like, what? And there's another bus. The next book I read on e-reader, and that was City of Ashes. The library didn't have City of Ashes in physical form just yet. Someone had checked out both copies. 2 people's checked out, separately, not together. And I didn't really want to wait to read them, so I read it on e-reader. It felt like fan fiction, which all these books have that kind of feel towards it. It's very enjoyable fan fiction-y type reading, even though it's real fiction, not fan fiction, author fiction. City of Ashes I gave a 3 out of 5 stars with. It was a little angsty in little places, and I enjoyed it for the most part. Trying to remember, it's been a couple weeks since I read it, but I know there's a lot of mistrust with certain characters, new characters that you're introduced, like the parents the Lightwood parents and them being a little untrustworthy and being more self-consumed with their things than their children, really. Yeah, not really much to say about it. I enjoyed it. It was a nice continuation on from City of Bones. Third book, City Glass. Most of it, like 98% of it, takes place in Idris. Oh, I did not like that fact. I did not like the... It's an urban fantasy, and it took away the urban part of it and went to this fantasy world, though it's a country and the world, and it didn't have that urban fantasy setting feel to it. And we get a lot of characters doing things behind people's backs for reasons they're not fully explaining to each other, and that's a trope I do not like in YA literature. The secretive things. So I gave Throne of Glass, I'm saying it again. Oh jeez. I gave City of Glass a 2.5 out of 5 stars. I felt it very slow-paced, really boring, and that's all I really have to say about that. The last book I read was City of Fallen Angels. Book 3 and 4 are the reasons why I'm not continuing on with the series at this moment. City of Fallen Angels is a trash fire. It's full of those angsty teenagers not talking to each other things. You got Simon and his love triangle. Though I want to call it a love tripod. I don't know why. You have Clary feeling things about Jace and them not talking to Jace about it because Jace is feeling things about Clary that he's not talking to Clary about. And I feel like a lot of the stuff would be better if they talk to each other and communicate things, because I feel like people should do that. The squirrel agrees with me. Or is it a squirrel? I can't see it. I felt like this book was not enough paranormal urban fantasy-ness that I've liked from the first 2 books, and so I gave it a 1.5 out of 5 stars. So far, most disappointing read of the year. I was going to continue on with the next book, City of Lost Souls, but I got 20 pages in and didn't read it for a couple of days, so I decided to DNF the series for now. I was going to read the Clockwork trilogy, but I think I'm going to return them for now and get back to them at a later date, because I think they might be a little bit better for me, but we shall see. I'm a little oversaturated on Cassandra Clare right now. Just a little bit. So that is my reading wrap-up for the month of February. All the books that I mentioned, including all 3 of the Pierce Brown books that 2 of which I have not read, all of the Mortal Instruments and the Infernal Devices, I got them all from the library, which is really interesting. I didn't read any of my own books this month. Instead of buying books, I got them from the library and read them. So at least I'm not buying new books. Though next month I'm going to be buying a new book. Maybe 2, depending on my current read, how it goes. The month of March is going to be Jay Kristoff month, because I'm currently I started reading Nevernight, and I'm going to be rereading Illuminae and Gemini, and purchasing Obsidio, because it's finally coming out. We didn't get it last year. We had to wait till this year. But there's that. And who knows, if I like Jay Kristoff's writing a little more, I might get to his other trilogy of the Lotus Wars that I have sitting on my shelf right now. There is that possibility. So there you go. You got a reading wrap-up. You got a book haul of sorts, and you got a March TBR all wrapped up into one video. I hope you enjoyed this video. I feel a little weird without my glasses on, but like I said, I didn't feel like talking to you guys like this the whole time, because I feel it's a little rude. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!